Hello and welcome to the second exercise for the CSV Data Export chapter of the Siebel 22 workshop. So in this part we will understand the administrative tasks to enable the incremental CSV Data Export, so the second stage, so to speak. And this requires Siebel CRM 21.10 or higher, since the CSV Data Export for the Unity integration with Oracle Cloud is a new feature in 21.10 or higher. So first we start with setting a system preference. It's called Enable Incremental Indexing, and we set it to True. So in the Siebel application, go to Sitemap and System Preferences, and let's query for that system preference, and it would likely not exist, so we create it with a value of true. The next step in the exercise guide is to go to the Siebel Remote System Preferences. Important to use the Remote System Preferences view and enable transaction logging. Make sure that you save your changes after checking that flag. And as the next step, we will enable the mobile sync or disconnected mobile synchronization component group and enable it for one or more servers in our enterprise, and we will then restart the enterprise. So we go to the SMC, configuration, find the component groups for the enterprise, query for the mobile sync, alias. The component group full name is Disconnected Mobile Synchronization. And we go to the servers list and make sure that it is assigned, which is already, but not enabled. So we make sure click the Enable button to enable that component group on that server. And with changes like these and with the system preferences we've changed, it is mandatory to restart the Siebel enterprise. So on the training machines provided by the Siebel Hub, we have a stop Siebel script that we execute now, and we use Task Manager to monitor for, well, memory hugging Siebel processes to stop. And once they're completely stopped, we will use the Start Siebel shortcut to start the enterprise up again. And we'll come back to this exercise once the enterprise is fully restarted. So once our enterprise is fully restarted, we can finish the exercise and get on with the next steps. So the next step is to log into the SMC and basically set every component in the mobile sync group to manual start except the transaction processor. Now this will just speed up future server starts. So to SMC we go. So go to Configuration, Servers, and for the one server we have, select Components, and we query for the mobile sync component group, and every component except transaction processor we shall set to manual start. Transaction processor being the only component that we really need for this exercise. And again, this just is to speed up future server starts and save resources in general. So make sure that transaction processor is actually still on automatic start, which you can see that the auto start button is actually disabled. And we will verify now that the transaction processor is actually running. So we'll do so in Management, Servers and Components. And let's find the transaction processor, and it has a status of running, and one task is running, which is just right. So the next part of the exercise is to create a job template called Search Incremental Indexer in the Administration Server Configuration Screen Job Templates view. So let's do this in Siebel Call Center, where we go to Sitemap, and find the Job Templates view. And we create a new job template called Search Incremental Indexer, or SII, for the Search Data Processor. Exercise guide tells us to create two parameters for business service name, Search Data Processor, and the method doIncrementalIndex. So let's find business service name, Search Data Processor, which is already there, and business service method. Replace the value that is defaulted with doIncrementalIndex. Make sure case sensitivity is honored here. And now we create a repeating job for using that job template, and we set it to 1 minute interval. So we go to Administration Server Management, Jobs, and create a new job for the new template. Using the new template, set the repeating flag and continue to set it up in the form where we can set the repeat unit to minutes and 1. So this would basically run the job every minute. And then submit the job. Okay, maybe check in repeating instances. That is currently queued, and the first job has already succeeded, and the next one is queued for in 1 minute. So now we will test the incremental CSV export. In that we'll create a new contact. So we go to Contacts, Contact List, and just create a new contact called, well, New Contact. And save it. So this should trigger all the necessary bits and pieces. The transaction processor will pick it up, and the job that we have created will pick up the transaction and will create the CSV file automatically. So we can go to the Sieb server temp folder and monitor that folder for the appearance of a new file. Let's give it a few moments, as the several sleep times can be up to 2 minutes in total. So after several minutes of patience, the incremental file is written to the folder. Let's see, and that includes our new contact record that we have created. So the next task is to go back to the contacts, find the new contact we created and update it. For example, add a job title and save the changes, and we should have another file shortly in the temp folder. Oh, and as well this file appears after a while, and we can verify that it is our new contact again. And the final test is to actually delete the contact. So delete it. Make sure you run an empty query or similar to trigger the physical deletion in the database. And then watch the temp folder for another incremental file. So once the new file appears, open it with the editor again. And this time we have no data except the row ID and the is deleted flag. The last column is deleted. So the external system can actually delete or mark the record as deleted in its own system of record. And that is the end of the exercise. Thanks for watching. Take care and bye-bye.